They leave the ship and headed towards the marker. Halfway there they notice the firestorm back building. Shit, we gotta wrap this up quickly, the storm is coming back. They reach the base of the marker. Okay, how the hell are we supposed to destroy this thing? To be honest, I don't know. I've had little experience when it comes to markers. Oh, nice, wonderful. Shut up, both of you. I know what to do. You guys just keep the area clear as much as you can. Fable walks closer to the marker. As he gets even closer, bright red marker script starts glowing in front of him. He extends his hands and places them on the marker's surface. He falls to his knees as a surge of energy rushes into him. He's rendered unconscious. Fable. He's fine, he said he knows what he's doing, didn't he? Yeah, well, whatever he's doing he'd better do it fast, cause it looks like Three Eyes is showing his ugly face. Up above them the moon descends on top of them, its large mouth opens revealing its head along with its yellow glowing eyes gazing down at them. The moon's howls echo through the skies. Meanwhile on the Patriarch, Isaac, Ellie and Hex continue working reviving the ship. Okay, looks like the lines to the core were fired from the EMP. Fuck, okay, that's not too bad. I can reroute the power flow to other lines in the walls, but we have to connect them to the core. Okay, how do we do that? We can't reach them, but there's switches in these panels that'll, if turned 360 degrees counterclockwise, manually switch the lines from most of the weapon systems to the core, then we'll be able to restart the ship. Okay. They all split up to find the switches. Seconds later they have found and turned all the switches. Okay, what now? We have to go to the core terminal. We have to turn these 3 switches clockwise simultaneously to restart the core. Alright, ready. Okay, 3, 2, 1, turn. The core sparks and starts glowing. Core restart successful. Shockpoint drive online and charging, all systems coming online. And she's awake from her nap. Alright, let's go. I'll contact Carver. Tell him that we can leave. We can leave, but we can't risk the marker shocking us out of the sky again. Back over at the marker, Carver and his team still wait for Fable. Carver's rig link opens. Isaac, what's up? The ship is ready. Has Fable taken care of the marker yet? I'm not sure. He's been sitting there like that for a while. Hasn't moved a muscle. Suddenly the marker starts rocking and glowing red and yellow. Sensing the disturbance, the moon descends even lower. Its tentacles wrap around the top of the marker. Isaac, you guys better get the ship here now, something's happening. Carver is interrupted by the firestorm closing by. And the storm is coming back, get your asses here now. Alright, we're coming. Isaac, what about the marker? We're going to have to chance it. Alright. The ship lifts up into the air and hovers towards the marker and the group. They arrive and land at the marker's base. Fable then comes out of his trance and runs with the team onto the ship. They take off, but their path is blocked by the moon as moves to intercept them. Shit, it going to get us. Wait for it. What? I said wait for it. Wait for what? Large discharges of red light and lighting shoot and run up the moon's tentacles, zapping it with a measurable amount of energy. The moon screeches aguishly in pain. The marker then begins to pull the moon down towards the planet. Now get us out of here. The ship accelerates out of the moon's path and up into the sky, into space. They shock out homebound to Sanctuary. The moon falls right on top of it, the devil horn-like tips of the marker puncturing and piercing the moon through its mouth, through its body. The marker tips breach the top of the moon's body, releasing gushing amounts of blood that rain down on the planet. The moon lets out a final howl of pain before it succumbs to its mortal wound and dies. Its tentacles fall flat on the planet's surface. Holy shit, I can't believe we got out of there alive. Fable, what the hell did you do to that thing? Had to go inside it and overload the marker from the inside. By the looks of it, I gave the moon quite a shock. Smart ass. In any case, you saved our asses. Yeah, just shut up so I can get some sleep. Lays down on the floor. You got a problem? No, when I was making my way to you guys at the prison, I had chance to face my demons. Long story short, I for the first time in 3 years can sleep without seeing him or her when I close my eyes. Closes his eyes. I understand what you mean. Hex enters the hold. We should be home soon. Good. Isaac rises from his seat and enters the cockpit. Hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You sure? Don't want to talk about what happened with your nightmare? Carver told you? Yeah. I really don't want to. I'll be okay, really. Okay, I'll leave you be. Isaac goes back to the hold to Ellie, who sits on a bench. He sits beside her. Ellie rests her head on his shoulder. Please have a seat, join us. Thank you. So Lexine, how's Branna? Asked Hawk. She's good. She's spending the weekend with some friends from school, so since Gabe and I have our apartment to ourselves, we thought we could go out tonight. That cyber leg prosthesis of his is pretty cool, and Earth Globe outfitted him with that. That's what he told me after the separation between us. Earth Globe at the time of the sprawl outbreak were prototyping new cyber prosthetics, so he was lucky to get one of them when they found him. Yes, those were pretty successful. The new X8 series trumps the old iX4 models. Ah yes, that's what it's called. I worked for a while helping the tech heads develop the improved cybernetics in them. As they continue talking, Gabe finds their table. Here comes Gabe. Hey guys. Gabe, take a seat and have a drink. Don't mind if I do. Guys are having night on the town too. In our own ways, yes. Hey Isaac, where's Ellie? Is she okay? She's fine. She was feeling a little sick, so she turned in early. She's going to feel like that for a while. I remember the sick feelings when I was pregnant with Branna. Yeah, she told me she was throwing up before she told me. Isaac, are you and Ellie going to marry before or after she has the baby? Isaac hesitated at the question for a bit, then answered. Yes, I'm unsure when exactly, but yes, I want to marry her. She's the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. Oh Isaac, that's sweet. I think I'm gonna go with the surprise approach when I propose to her. Ha, that's the best way to do it. It should always be a surprise. Well, this was really nice meeting up like this, but I should get back to my lab. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Night. Gabe and I are gonna turn in to see you guys later. They leave along with Hawk. They all leave. Isaac returns to his apartment, undresses and carefully slips into bed, not wanting to disturb Ellie. Carver returns to his quarters. Before retiring for the evening, he sits at the edge of his bed looking at a picture of his deceased wife and son on his rig. After looking at the picture for about half an hour, he closes his rig and falls asleep. Gabe and Lexine continue enjoying a night out with each other. After having dinner together, they go to an observation deck looking out into space, where in the room the light from the nebula was the only light source. They spend nearly an hour sitting together enjoying the beauty of the vast colors of the space clouds. They finally went home to retire. Upon closing the apartment door, Lexine turns off the lights and pins Gabe to the wall, kissing him, and he instantly gets a hint and wraps his arms around her waist. Both quickly undress. She pushes Gabe onto the floor bed with a violet light dimly illuminating the room. She anchors him down. On top of him, soon Gabe slides himself deep in her. Both are overtaken by pure ecstasy and passion. Lexine latches her hands on his chest, wanting him to thrust faster. As he continues making love to her, her grip on his chest tightened, with her nails sinking into them. He grunts at the pain and thrusts even harder. Both of their breaths become heavier. They finally reach orgasm. Her nails scratched down his chest hard enough to draw trace amounts of blood, but didn't feel it nor cared, for the orgasm cancelled out his touch and all other senses. The only thing he could feel for the time being was him becoming one with his lover once more. Gabe pulls the sheets on top of them and pulls her close with his arm, and both doze off with the light's violet hue dimly shining on the surface of their faces. Lexine clutches Gabe's hand as she drift off into sleep. Isaac is still troubled by his dream, keeping him up at night. It progresses in the same way, but increasingly disturbing to Isaac, for in his mind he can't stop thinking about the enigmatic child and man whose face remains shrouded by darkness. In his dream, a giant marker stands in the far back of the clearing behind the man and child, with the moons looming over them in the darkened sky. He gasps awake. He puts his hand on his head in fatigue. He gets out of bed, composes himself, and leaves the apartment. He goes to visit Dr. Hawk and Deluz. So I take it your race evolved into successful hunters when they were primitive. Well, would have sucked to have been your prey. Humans aren't capable of anything like that. Gabe sarcastically. Yes, even when my kind huddled around fires, we had abilities. We always had our DNA manipulation ability, including telekinesis, and a variety of other powers that we eventually cultivated as we advanced through the ages. Telekinesis, so how strong was the majority of your kind was with it? 90.20% of all Daokun were proficient in telekinesis and most other abilities, for they used it in their everyday lives. Daokun? Asked Lexine. It would my race were called by others. We did not have a name for ourselves, so we stuck with what others had named us. The best translation I can come up for the name was the Guardians. It seemed appropriate seeing as we did protect and educated other races. We taught them basic science, mathematics, and for new races discovered we taught them how to build. Isaac enters. Morning. Ah, Isaac, morning. What are you guys talking about? I was answering drive. Hawks inquires on my race. Yes, they were an amazing people. As they speak, Deluz curiously walks towards the crystal marker in containment. Deluz are all right. He looks to Hawk and Isaac. Where did you find this marker? It's different from the others here. We found it in cave at an overrun mining facility where we found the orb you're housed in. Excuse me, ma'am, where do you want this last one? Over there, please. The soldier walks into the other room. Before he returns to the lab, he stops in his tracks. His begin glowing bright blue shining through his helmet lens. He then takes his gun out of his holster, then starts slowly walking towards them. Deluz looks towards the marker, sensing a disturbance. Doctor. Yes, what is it? I detect something in this room. Something is here with us. The Hawk spots the soldier entering the room, aiming his gun at Isaac. Die. No, Isaac. He fires a shot. Hawk knocks him out of the way and the plasma bolt hits Lexine in the shoulder. Lex. As she falls to the ground. Enraged, Gabe dashes out of cover, runs to the soldier and butterfly kicks him in the face with his cyber leg, shattering his helmet lens. Gabe and Isaac then grapple him to the floor and manage to get the gun away from him. The containment field on the crystal marker comes online, and at the moment of activation the man ceases struggling, falls unconscious, and his glowing dims out. Desperate, Gabe runs over to Lexine, who lies on the floor bleeding. He falls to his knees and tries to wake her. Lex, honey, wake up, please wake up. Get a medic now. Wake up, get a medic now. Stuttering. Already done, they're coming. What the hell just happened? Medics and Earth Ghost soldiers arrive at the scene. The medics quickly examine Lexine. Her pulse is weak, get her to IC stat. They take her away to the hospital. Sir, is this man the one that shot the woman? Yes. Careful, he's regaining consciousness. Aims his rifle at him. Ah, what the hell? What happened? Ah, fuck my head. Holds his head. How about you tell us you're the one who shot my wife? Grabs him by the neck. What the hell are talking about? How the hell can you not remember what you just did? Gabe, please control your temper. Fuck. Releases him. Isaac walks up to him. Hey, what's your name? Dave C. Carmichael. You're telling me that I shot that woman. It was not your fault, you were under marker signal control. The crystal marker, it took control of him. Oh God, is she okay? Did I kill her? She's on her way to the hospital. We won't know anything for a while. I'm so sorry, I wasn't even aware, it all just went black. Next thing I know I wake up on the floor. Hey, it wasn't your fault. Why don't you go home and get some rest? You may want to put some ice on that face. Looks like he kicked you pretty hard. He feels the bruise on his face. He feels the bruise on his face. Okay, I will thank you. Dave leaves the lab and heads to his dwelling. What the hell, Gabe? What the hell was that? What? What do you mean? What? You were brutalizing the poor guy. I mean, first and understandably you almost smashed the guy's skull in. I'm actually surprised that Thrust didn't kill him. Second, when it's over you treat him like he's a criminal. You know about how the markers can affect people, and don't say you were in control of the situation, cause it sure as hell looked like you lost control. Yes, I lost control and I'm sorry, we all do sometimes. We're not the ones you should be apologizing to. I know, look, I'll find him and apologize when he feels better, I promise. Maybe you should leave, go check on Lexine and Branna. Gabe exits the lab. My god, that was enervating. He just needs time, so the signal just came from the crystal marker, not any of the others. Yes, the crystal marker was the only one that was uncontained, but the signal was different. The radiation and rhythms of the signal were more complex than that of the normal signal Menthun uses to commune with his markers. Wait, you said before the marker signal is really Menthun's brain waves. If this one we found was different, does that mean the being it came from is not the same one? That is a possibility. Deluxe. Sorry, I was contemplating. You know something. Yes, there is a navigator currently in the hospital who was involved in an attack on ships carrying refugees. According to the captain's report, the navigator Zach Muller acted in a similar manner to Dave Carmichael when he was possessed. I heard about that, yeah, but what are you getting at? I took hospital test results and the signal patterns are a complete match of 99.9%, and this signal doesn't match Menthun's brain waves, which means it's too early to say. I must see this Zach. He'll be able to tell me if my theory is correct and if the test results are absolutely genuine. Okay, I can get you and Isaac access to him. Much appreciated. After leaving the labs, Gabe heads to the hospital. After a long surgery on her shoulder, she slowly wakes up as the sedatives wear off. For a moment she closes and rests her eyes. As she lies on the bed, she feels someone grab hold of her hand on her right side. She opens her eyes and looks towards a figure standing next to her. She could not see it clearly, for her vision was slightly blurry. She looks closer and is shocked at what she sees. Hello, Lex. It's been a long time. Oh, Nate, I've missed you so much. Tears form in her eyes. And I missed you too. I trust my old friend has been good to you. Yes, he has. Nate, where have you been this whole time? Watching over you. I've always been with you, Lex. Lexine then remembers her horrible ordeal while escaping the Ishimura. Wait, something's not right. Nate was silent as she remembers what happened on her escape shuttle. A flashback of gunfire and a shadow of a slasher lights up her eyes. Nate closes her eyes. You're. She opens her eyes to be frightened immensely by the sight of blood slowly flowing from a hole in his forehead and a bloodied sleeve with one of his arms missing. As Nate leans closer to the frightened Lexine, her vision turns dark orange and blurry. Dead, I know. Raspy. He points to the hole in his head. You shot me right here. Then in a flash of red and orange he vanishes, leaving her in bed crying. Moments later Gabe gets to the hospital and to her room she finds his wife curled up on the edge of her bed weeping. Lex, hey, are you okay? She looks up at him and hugs him. I saw him. Who? Nate, but it wasn't him. Nate, you mean McNeil? Yes. Lex, I'm sorry, it wasn't him because it wasn't real. I know, I miss him a lot. I will never forget what happened on the shuttle when we got away from that hell. It wasn't your fault, Lex. He turned and you did what you had to. He would have killed us both. It's what he would have wanted. It's what I would want if that fate befallen me. Yes, but why? Why did it have to happen to him? Sobbing. Gabe was silent, unsure how to answer. He sat next to her and pulled her close to him. Shush, hey, I know how you feel. I miss him too. He was my friend, a very good friend. I'm sorry, it's just when I saw him he looked real, alive. He held my hand and I felt it like he was here. It felt so real. I know, Lex. She hugs him again. She hugs him again. So how are you doing? Is your shoulder okay? You had me really scared. It's fine, I barely feel pain there anymore. Good. What happened? I don't remember much. One of the markers in Hawk's lab took control of that soldier that was helping her and he tried to kill Isaac. My God, is he alright? He's okay, nothing happened to him. What about the soldier? Is he okay? He's okay now, but he kind of walked out of it with big bruise on his face. What? Gabe, what did you do? I hit him pretty hard. Well, kicked him in the head rather. Oh, Gabe. I know. I have to find him later and apologize to him. It's understandable. I almost died and it scared the hell out of you. Yes, you did. That and when Adrian held Branna hostage. Oh God, don't remind me. A doctor walks in. Oh, I see you're doing well. How are you feeling? Better. It still hurts a little, but it's getting better. That's good. Well, I'm happy to tell you that you will be good to go home tomorrow morning. Until you completely heal, take things a little easy, okay? Thank you. Try to get some rest. He exits. Well, guess I'll leave you to rest and I'll tell Branna you'll be home tomorrow. Okay, I love you both. I love you. Both kiss. Gabe exits out of her room in the hospital. Lexine returns back to sleep. Isaac returned to his apartment with Ellie sitting on the bed waiting for him. He walks up to her and sits beside her. Hey you, I missed you this morning. Where did you go? She kisses him. I went to Hawks but something happened there today. Yeah, I heard something about that. What happened? Lexine is in the hospital. What? What happened? Shocked. One of the guards at the lab went insane. He shot Lexine in shoulder. My god, have you heard anything yet? If she'll be okay. Gabe sent me text a few minutes ago. According to the docs, she'll make a full recovery. She will also be cleared to go home tomorrow. That great. What happened to the guard? Gabe, well, he knocked him unconscious, left bruise on his face, poor guy. Wait, so he just went mad just like that? How is that possible? The markers in Hawk's lab are all contained, right? All but one. That marker Carver, Gabe and I found at that mining facility, but that one is different. It looked like it was made of crystal instead of rock or stone. Have you seen markers like that back on Titan? No, the ones there were made in a similar way. The Aegis 7 marker. Enough of that for now. Are you okay? I went back to the doctor's an hour ago for ultrasound. Take a look at these. She opens her rig. Isaac looks at the images of their baby. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Smiles. I know. Isaac looks a mass similar to their child. What's this over here next to it? That's the surprise. We're having twins. Isaac looks to Ellie in awe. Twins. Yes, a boy and girl. Oh Ellie, this made my day. I'm very happy. We have to think about names. Do you have any ideas? Both lie down on the bed. For our girl, I was trying to decide between Laura, Sarah, or Catherine. Those three are your tops. Yes. Which do you like the most? I really like Laura and Sarah, but that's what keeping me from deciding. We don't have to decide now. We still have a lot of time before we need to worry about that. You're right. What do you think about for our boy? Isaac inhales and exhales deeply. Well, I was thinking of maybe Dean. I love that one. It's my favorite boy name. Really? Yeah, that sounds perfect for him. I'm glad you like the name. Well, looks like all we have to think about is our daughter. Choose between Laura or Sarah. Yep. Are you nervous about going into parenthood? I won't lie, I am, but as always I try to be optimistic. You. Same here. Don't worry, we do fine. Thanks. Closes her rig. Ellie, you and I have been together for a long time. These days we're closer than ever, and now we have two wonderful kids on the way. Are you ready to become more than what we are now? Ellie was silent, then she answers. I thought about it ever since I found out I was pregnant, and much earlier back on Volantis, and yes, I am. I wouldn't take any other man for my husband. Isaac takes hold of her hands. And I won't accept any other woman as my wife than you, Ellie. I love you with every fiber of my being. I love you too, Isaac. Both kiss. You know, if someone told me that I was going to meet the love of my life on a station overrun by monsters, I would have been skeptical, but when we first met, even though I was on edge, I thought you were attractive. Thanks. Oh, and speaking of, when we met, you almost shot my head off. I said I was sorry, plus I didn't know if you were human, let alone who you were, and someone prior to us meeting tried to kill me, so I was hyped up. I'm sure you would have been as well. Yeah, well, it was worth it, because I don't know where I would be right now if I hadn't met you. We both might have not gotten off that station alive. Which is why I'm glad I did. So am I. Ellie wraps her arm and rests her head on his chest. Isaac holds her firmly.